Hello, and welcome to the meeting of the Webster County Board of Education. We are so glad you have joined us today. Our meeting will begin momentarily. Hello, and welcome to the meeting of the Webster County Board of Education. We are so glad you have joined us today. Our meeting will begin momentarily. Hello, and welcome to the meeting of the Webster County Board of Education. We are so glad you have joined us today. Our meeting will begin momentarily.
It's Monday, July 14th. It's a regular meeting of the Webster County Board of Education. Did you call, Joyce?
Oh, no. Hey, Siri.
It's 6 p.m. and it's a regular meeting. Call this meeting to order. School performance, student outcomes, academic goals.
Hold on a second.
Hold on a second.
Before we do anything, let me get All right, we got you on. We're started.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, school performance, student outcomes, academic goals.
Nothing this evening,
Nothing
sir.
this evening. Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to bring the minutes to the floor?
So moved.
Susan? Do I have a second?
Second.
Lisa? Okay, the minutes are in our packet. Anybody see anything on them?
Yeah, I had a couple things. Nothing major. The numbering got out of order down there after number 4 presentation. There's 2 number 4s. That should say number 5. And then, of course, coincide 6, 7, 8, and then it gets back, it's correct once it gets to number 9. Under personnel. Under new business, section 8, executive session. All members voted in favor of this motion. It says 4-0. We either need to completely just omit that, or change it to 5-0, but we'll fix it. We'll adjust it. And the only other thing I saw was on number 4 under new business, where it says first year to replace droplet, then 4,000 each after. It should say each year after. And that was all I had. Correction. Nope, yep, that's it.
Anybody else have anything? All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Consider approving the minutes of the, let's see, presentations.
Nothing.
Nothing. Student disposition.
Nothing.
Delegations.
None.
Consent agenda. Do I have a motion to bring consent agenda to the floor?
So moved.
Susan? Do I need a second?
I'll second.
Jimmy?
Okay, enter payment of bills, budget supplements and transfers, fundraisers. Anybody see anything on the bills? They had any questions?
One thing I wanted to point out, it grabbed my attention, so I was going to assume that it would probably grab yours. The bill on check number 85790, Cowan Public Service District, that's a $4,000 water and sewer bill for the month of June. I know that may raise some questions, but that's actually 2 bills from Glade Elementary, a bill from the softball field, and Webster County High School's bill. So that was all combined, four total bills on that, is why that was, if that jumped out at you. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Trying to get everything done by the end of the year.
Yep, correct. And I didn't know if there were any others you had questions about, but that one I thought you may question. I just wanted to point that out to you.
Jimmy, you have anything? Lisa?
No.
Susan?
Yeah.
The only one I had was on the grant repayment. Why did we have to repay a grant for food service?
It was grant monies that, they weren't used, and we have 2 other $25,000 ones that we have to pay back to.
Oh, my.
How come?
They weren't used, they were supposed to be used for equipment, for new stoves, ovens, combi ovens, and
So why weren't they used?
we got it the year that I finished. My last year, I got those grants.
We already have the funding, actually have the money,
Yeah, they
and,
gave it to us right away.
and we have to send it. So 25,000 and what else?
Two $25,000.
Oh, Lord, $50,000?
Plus 49.70.
Good Lord. Well, that can't happen again.
Absolutely not.
Did you hear what Tammy said, Joyce?
I heard part of it. I definitely heard Susan's response.
There was 2 grants that we didn't spend on stoves or something like that. One for
Oh, yes, I saw that, okay,
2 for $25,000 apiece that we did not use. We got to send them back.
okay. So why didn't we use them?
We don't know,
Okay.
but we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Will you get us an answer for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else on any of that? We didn't have any fundraisers, I don't think, did we?
Yeah.
There was?
Mhm.
There they are.
Nothing's here.
Anybody have any questions on fundraisers? Jimmy?
No.
Susan?
No.
Joyce?
No.
Okay. That being said, all in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Under new business, do I have a motion to bring new business to the floor?
I motion.
I second.
Jimmy and then Lisa. Okay. Item 1, consider renewing the EFG E-rate consulting contract. We'll just go through them, or any questions on that one? Just do them one at a time.
That's fine.
What is that contract?
That's the educational funding group that the county has used for several years that assists in any of the bidding process and forms to meet E-rate regulations. They get paid based on whatever percentage that you're gonna do, depending on if you're doing a Category 1 or a Category 2 project. That's where they help us get reimbursed for the money for our internet.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Number 2, consider approving the MOU CIS retroactive to 6/23/25.
That's the communities in school agreement.
Any questions on that one? Okay, number 3, consider approving the purchase of laptops, docking stations, and printers for school nurses in the amount of $8,936.17 coming out of technology funds.
You have that in your budget, Stacy?
Yes.
Number 4, consider approving Tommy Short to install adjustable basketball rims at Glade Elementary School on a volunteer basis at no charge to Webster County Schools.
He's the one that took down the building
Mhm.
for us, isn't he?
Anytime there's any type of physical construction to a school building, I want you all to know about it and approve it. So if there's anything, we have it in the minutes, if anything would happen, any damages, we can say we all was on the same, we were all on the same page, and for insurance and coverage purposes as well.
What my question was gonna be.
Yep.
Where did the rims come from? Is that just,
They got them. I don't.
They just got
that
'em,
youth
okay.
league.
oh, okay, yeah, junior league thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Junior League's providing the rims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tommy's just helping install them. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Number 5, consider approving the contract driver bid from Little Dippers Transport for the Hacker Valley area in the amount of $375 per day for each day school was in session for the 25-26 year.
Is that the same?
Yes. They were the only ones that bid.
Okay.
We put the legal ad out to accept bids, and they were the only ones that bid
And
on
it's
that.
the same that they were paid previous?
No,
No.
it increased, didn't it?
You
I
sure?
don't think so. I think it was $375.
I thought it went. Tammy, didn't it go up a little bit?
I thought it went up 25. I thought it was 350.
She's gonna go check. We'll get you an answer on that. I think it went up.
Okay, number 6, consider approving the out-of-state travel for Webster County High School 8th grade students to Washington DC on May the 5th through 9th, 2026. Any questions on that one? Very self-explanatory. 7, consider approving out-of-state travel for Webster County High School 12th grade students to Disney on April 12th through 19th, 2026. Number 8, consider approving an MOU with Best Life Therapy for the 25-26 school year.
We had a contract with them last year. It's just a renewal.
Which one's that? Is that
It was 50.
It went up $50. The Little Dippers. Which one do they do? The Best Life. They are the. Are they the hearing? Can't remember. Sarah, do you have that by chance? That contract?
I just can't remember which therapy it was. I can't remember. I don't know. Speech was like, when that was like all online one, right?
Yeah.
Let's drop it.
They are Best Life. Yeah, there it is.
Did I miss that?
It's not, it has to be speech, because it was, I
Stepping
don't think it's,
Stones. They're out of Bridgeport. Speech pathology facilitator, physical therapy assistant. That's their price
yeah,
if we want those. But I think we
Okay.
use
There's some on the back.
occupational therapy.
yeah, that occupation was a different
That's I think
one,
it's
right?
OT, PT. I think it's
It must-
OT.
Kingstone's is Stephanie Johnson, it's OT.
Yeah,
That's not.
yeah, that's why I didn't think it was OT, and it's not Kayla's either. I can't
No,
remember what
it's
Kayla's
just
is, so
Raiders
has to be speech, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't remember, that name kind of threw me off, but, okay,
Applicable.
just being curious.
Is the cost the same?
Yeah, the prices are on the back page of per hour of what they pay. I don't know if they went up from last year. That I don't know. That's just who we've used in the past.
Okay.
Okay, number 9, create and discuss revisions to the Webster County School Cell Phone / Personal Electronic Device Policy 5136 to be in compliance with West Virginia Code 18-2-46.
Okay, here we go. Get comfortable, I should say. We addressed this policy back in January, and we made changes to it, and unfortunately, it was sort of all for none. The state legislature enacted code, so those who are listening or reading or asking questions, this is not the Webster County Board of Education. This is state code. Your legislators are the ones that did this, that enacted this law, and they're the ones that, when this is done, we have to follow it effective July 1. So in front of you, I've provided a copy, of our current personnel electronic or PCDs, what they were called, personal communication devices, and our current policy. Our copier's down, so I was not able to give you collared copies, but everything with a line through it would be in red, which is what we would strike, and everything that's highlighted with nothing through it would be green, and what is now added. I have spoke to Mr. Markle, and I have spoke to Kenitha at Hacker Valley, and I have my other 2 principals here tonight with us. The main thing that I want to stress is the majority of this the majority of this code comes from, this policy is coming verbatim from state code. Stacy took it and applied it into a policy format with their wording, okay? Bottom line is this. Here are some things that you need to make sure. They will not be able to have any personal devices unless it would be for a medical reason. Diabetics monitoring their blood sugar, that sort of thing. They cannot have an iPad from home. They cannot have a laptop from home. No personal devices. We provide those as a school system to those children. As for their cell phones, if the board decides to permit cell phones to be on school property, which is what my recommendation is, then as a school system, we have to provide a way for them to secure them. Some type of pouch or case has to be provided to those students. No, there is not funding for that. We would incur that cost.
Can we not make them put them in their lockers and consider that secure?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because if they have a locker and it's a secured,
All of them have a locker.
yeah, I mean, as long as we ensure they all have that. But I don't
Everybody have lockers
at Glade,
at Glade?
Upper grades.
but lower grades do not.
Lower grades do not have a secure.
The box that's just to kind of, we'll jump around a lot here during this discussion. The box, Stacy got a sample from a company, and this box is a clear box. The name of it is New Case. It's not the Yonder pouch. It's a clear case. It's this big, and you give it to the kid. They can put it in there. They can put it in their locker. They can keep it in their backpack, whatever. But it is secured. Those came to us. We also saw a lot of stuff about being able to, a lot of these things, kids are just taking standardized magnets and using them to pop them open. I brought 2 heavy-duty magnets from my garage at home, and Stacy and I tried, and we could not get it open. It has specialized magnets that the magnet you put it up against somehow aligns. I don't know the whole details. I'll get the details. If we do get the details, and this is something we're going to look into, we're not going to discuss it in open session. We'll have to go into executive session to discuss it to protect of how these things work. All right, so I don't want to put that out there. I know you can get on the internet and Google it, but maybe I'm not going to do it for free. So we would have to provide those cases. Did we get a contract? Did we get a cost back from that quote?
It's $18
$18
per case.
per case. They also make another case that they said they would give us 50 free. Was that right, or 100 free?
A case of 100 that they're a little larger.
Yeah.
That you can put phone, smartwatch, and earbuds in.
It'll hold bigger. It's a bigger case.
So I thought.
Maybe get 100 of. I don't know if it was free, but
High school.
maybe get 100 of those for the just for the high
They
school.
were gonna give them to us at the cost of the rate.
That's what it was. They were gonna give us at the $18 rate.
Plus you would have each of the little unlocking stations that would be like $30 a piece.
Yeah.
So total for about what we would need, you're looking at about $11,000 roughly,
But the yonder pouches were 20.
Altogether.
altogether,
Okay.
altogether.
But I believe the yonder weren't the yonder pouches.
I
Weren't they
think were gonna
20,000?
be- I think they were gonna be quite a bit more expensive. I requested a quote from them as well, just since it's gonna be potentially be such a large amount, we would need some quotes for accounting purposes.
Yeah, we'd have to get 3 quotes.
But I think it's cheaper and, more secure. It's a completely different design than the pouch. So,
We would also, board members, we would have to provide the schools with a protected storage unit for each office to, if they confiscate a phone, that they would have to put those phones in for the day to keep those phones protected until they could be picked up. Just to keep going, I'm not going to read this to you.
Well, a point I wanna make, Jimmy, you were asked, if they all had lockers. According to this policy, K through 5 are not allowed to have phones on property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to get there.
Oh,
I mean, it was one of the things I was going to cover. But the PK5, and again, this is up for public comment. And the reason I included 6th grade, because I know a lot of our 6th graders play athletics. They play basketball, they play football, whatever. And I didn't want them not to be able to have access to call home if practice ended earlier or something like that. My 2 elementary colleagues may feel differently about that. I don't know. That is what I have seen some counties do. Some counties have said, I'm not letting my PK5 kids have their cell phones. They're just not allowed on campus. It's pretty hard to police that because, I don't know why they would need a phone at that age. But that's my opinion. This is a draft. We are not approving any policy tonight. So yes, that was students in 6 through 12 are the only ones that would be permitted to have them on school site.
so,
Do all of our 6th graders have lockers?
They will have. We have some that were really, really in bad shape, and we have ordered them, and right now they're sitting in boxes. They haven't been put together, but that is on my list.
Okay.
so, where, those boxes, would they be kept in their first period room? Or,
Just it stays
They're-
with it. You lock them up in the first period. That's what it says here. Lock them up, then it stays with them
Yeah.
in the
All
case
day.
throughout the day. And then you go
it
back
has
to that
go
first
back
period
to
class?
the first block?
That's what I'm.
Though that's a logistical aspect that her and I didn't get into with the principals. I don't know how Carrie Jo will do it. I don't know how Gabe will do it. They may have a way that they want to do
But
it.
they would remain in the school somehow.
Yes. They don't take them home.
Because I was thinking, kids
They would
leaving
unlock
their
them.
last period
Well,
at
see,
the
that-
high school to
I mean-
get them back to their first period.
And what I'm
Unless
guessing,
everybody goes back to first period.
right? And what I'm guessing Gabe's probably going to do is where the kids go out of the building. Those are probably going to be stations there that will mounted probably that they can unlock them as they go out the door and have a bin there they can throw the case in as they walk out the door. That's my vision, but I haven't had that conversation with Mr. Markle yet.
We won't have to have them if they can put them in their lockers. Why spend the money on?
The policy says the boards shall provide them. Now, does that qualify? I don't know. That would be
Shall be stored in locking containers provided by the Board of Education.
Right.
Which a locker is a locker.
locking container.
But
mean,
sometimes they get the little, they'll put that little thing under it so it doesn't.
Yours
lock.
don't lock?
But no, all of my lockers do not.
Do
lock.
yours lock?
They can put a lock, they can like buy a lock, you know, the common, but I don't allow that because.
They lose the
They,
combination.
I mean, they can't remember their, yes, they would probably lose, they would lose something.
Okay.
And let's see, we purchased cell phone, cases last year that I use with my 4th, 5th, and 6th. They have the option, I didn't force anybody, but it stays in the teacher's classroom, they give it to them, they put it in the case, it's one big case that they all go in, they're all numbered, teacher has the key, not have an extra.
So maybe we wouldn't need them for Webster Springs. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? So,
I mean, yeah, we
Yeah,
already
it
have
doesn't-
a system anyways.
so maybe even something like that would be cheaper at Glade if we're just going to allow our 6th graders to have it. Then we would only have to buy them for the high school.
Well, if we don't allow 6th graders, we just go 7 through 12. It eliminates the grade.
Right, but the thing is with this policy, they can't have them. They can't even bring them to school
Oh, no.
unless they're on that list. If we eliminate it, then 6th graders won't be able to bring their phones to
No,
school.
no.
Okay.
I mean, that's just,
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's why we're here.
we're just,
I'm good either way.
we're creating a lot of problems. If we buy pouches, buy cases, whatever, it's just increasing it. And whereas if we've got the option, they can keep them in their lockers. And if we don't allow 6th graders to have them, that won't be a problem at the grade schools.
Mhm.
And, I mean, I know there's gonna be a lot of outcry on that, but I can't see spending money
Right.
on something that.
Stacy, do you have something?
The only thing I would say to that is throughout the day at the high school, having spent many years up there, if those phones are just in their lockers and they're going to get their books and what have you, they're grabbing that phone and they're running to the bathroom and you've not solved anything. Where if it is in a locking case, it could be in their book bag, it could be anywhere, but they can't
Get to it.
operate it, is the difference. That's the only difference in that piece.
I mean,
Did you have some? I'm sorry.
no, I'll just, I don't, yeah, we're good, you're good. I'm just like, I mean, that makes
If you-
sense. I mean, and the other part of like kind of looking at sort of, I'm just personally thinking like, cause I was expecting the price to be significantly more than what that is. And if Carrie Joe's got stuff there, so it could be even potentially less than this.
Oh yeah.
So 11,000, that's, I mean,
If we
I
get,
was thinking we were probably gonna look at 25,000 or more.
that's what the younger
And
quote
so,
was.
yeah, so, I
But
mean,
you know, if we,
11, I mean,
if we
that's-
could
that's
even buy a
something doable.
system, if we could even buy a system for Glade, the same
Yeah.
thing, then
Yeah,
6th graders come in,
Yeah.
put your phones in the,
yeah,
put them in there. I mean, it would work.
yeah.
I think our cases were like $30 or something, they were not.
They weren't bad. So if you flip to page, at the bottom of page 2 where it says exemptions, I'm not going to cover that. If you got a medical need for one, you're going to be allowed to have it. There's nothing we can do with that. Policy and code says, or state code says that. The one thing I want you to look at is the last paragraph there. The County Board of Education may include permission to use PEDs for student use in approved work-based learning programs. We said may there instead of shall. They would have to submit a request, why they would need it. For example, our nursing students likely would use their phones to times or whatever over at the hospital. Smart watches and stuff like that. Wouldn't want to take that from 'em. But I say may because may can be revoked if you're abusing that, or you could lose that if you do something while you're on that. Work-based if you do something inappropriate with your phone. So that's what that was. Extracurricular, after school, they'll have their cell phone set to silent or vibrate. That was all new. Student transportation, school bus, all that stuff, they got to follow the rules. Off-campus field day, prohibited unless allowed by the teacher and the chaperone of the activity, taking pictures, stuff like that. Okay, here's the big one. Violations. A lot of the violation, this stuff came from other code and other policy. The violations that you see, It says all will be documented in Weavis. Violations will result in the following penalty. The first things first. Anytime a cell phone, we are proposing, anytime a cell phone is confiscated, that the parent is the one to come and get it. We do not turn that back over to the child. The parent would come and get the phone. And then the principal could talk to the parent and say, hey, this has got to stop. This is a new law. It's got to go. The offenses, I come up with these offenses with with the violation of policy. Mr. Markle and I come up with this. There's several schools of thought on this. I'm talking to some other superintendents. They said, you got some superintendents like me that have put very specific discipline. You've got other counties that are using broad paintbrush discipline that gives them a lot of options and a lot of leeway. What works at school A may not work at school B because school B doesn't have in-school suspension as a punishment. I feel that we have in-school suspension at all of our facilities, and we could easily manage this. Mr. Markle and I come up with this. I did not include Mrs. Crookshanks and and Carrie Jo involved in it because he stopped by. We had a meeting. We started talking about it, and I'm always afraid to say Ramey or Gladwell. I can't ever get it right. I know what your email says, but then your name says something different. So I always say Carrie Jo. So anyway, that was discussed by Mr. Markle and myself. A lot of counties are saying OSS pretty quick. Every county that I've seen so far started with at minimum multiple days of lunch detention. No warnings, no phone call home, you get something. You start with lunch detention. I know a county that's starting off with ISS, 1 day of ISS immediately. The principals, the counties are wanting this to take effect. They're wanting it to stop. They're wanting to understand this is serious. Mr. Markle I thought he had a very good, when he stated, if you look down through these, it says 3 days of lunch detention, 3 days of ISS, third offense, 5 days of ISS, social probation, and a SAT meeting for due process. And then lastly, you'll see 45-day placement in the ALC. And if you notice, within those punishments, OSS was not included. We've got to get away from kicking our kids out of our schools. We want our kids in our schools. Even I get it, there's a time we shall kick them out, and we shall suspend, and we shall expel. But this is something I don't want them to be out of our schools. I want them in school. And Mr. Markle, when he told me that, I agreed. I said, it's a great idea. And that's what we went with. By no means am I telling you, principals, that this is the law. This is my proposal to the board because the law says the policy shall include discipline. And I don't, if we're going to do it, if it's in school at Glade, I'd really like to narrow our paintbrush. And I feel like if it's going to be in school at Glade, it needs to be in school in Webster, it needs to be in school at Hacker Valley. Because guess what? When I leave the 6th grade, what's the rules up here for the cell phones? Same as it was when you was in elementary. That's why I went with it. Does it have to be this? No. But whatever we do, I would like for it. And if you four want to get together and come in here one day or get on a Zoom call with me and talk about, hey, I think this would work better for elementary, I'm open. I just had to get Stacy and I had to get something on paper. And this is what we proposed. Mr. Markle, myself, and Stacy. So by no means think that I'm slamming the gavel and saying this is the way it's going to be. I want your input. That's why I invited you here tonight. Okay? So, any thoughts?
I'm good with everything. My only question would come to the last one. We don't have an alternative school.
Well, it would be
What
probably
is going to be our next step?
probably for that it would be. It says 45-day placement in the ALC. We might want to change that to 45 days placement in alternative learning environment instead of it.
You'd be looking at home now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, and we have discussed that with Jason over past incidents with elementary, because we do not have an established elementary LC. That's our only option. And when it says we shall expel, we shall expel. So if long as we're being consistent and every elementary student that is being expelled receives homebound service, we're doing what we've always done. We're being consistent. We're stating that we're staying the course that we've always done. But good point. So there's something that we need to change.
I don't know whether I missed this, but the question that I have is, how do they get unlocked at the end of the day? The student can't do that, right?
So it's like it looks like a little cone, and these cones would be mounted. I'm just telling you what my imagination's telling me. When they walk out the door at wherever these kids exit, there'll probably be like maybe 2 carts, rolling carts, and you can put 2 cones on each cart, and as the kids come up, bang, 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 and then they would go into a container, and the kids would take their cell phone and go home. But they would get unlocked at the end of the day.
And the containers aren't specific to a certain student.
No, just it's just here they are. Yeah, thank you, Stacy. This is what they look like. There's the cone. You can see it's like a cone, and there's bolt holes, so you can bolt them to a wall, which I would not. I would bolt them where you could put them on a cart and move them into a room where a kid can't get access to it. And then those come in like that, and then they.
Up at the top.
Is it up at the top? I've only played with them once. I got it unlocked. I just can't get it to open. There you go. And in the mornings they do that, and
So my thing would, we may need a few of those just to logistic wise, as kids are leaving, it's gonna take some time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
at the,
so I mean,
you know,
depending
at-
on how fast. What do you think? I mean,
That-
like,
yeah, that-
because you're gonna have a
quote-
line of 50 kids trying to go through and
That
get through.
quote
Yeah.
that I had gotten was for like 30 to 40 some of those.
Okay. So
Of
so
those
that
that
way,
are locked.
I'm just thinking about just being able to speed the process.
Well,
Of,
if you
of
think about if you're going
leaving
out,
and
you
stuff,
have, if you had 2 carts with 2 on each cart, that'd be 4 kids at a time unlocking.
Yeah.
And a teacher sitting there helping if anybody
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
stuck. So yeah, I would too. I would have multiple.
As far as being able to.
I would
to
have
keep the
have
things
one in the
flowing.
office.
Okay.
I'd have one in the office. So if a
Yeah.
kid was leaving for the day,
Yeah,
the secretary
yeah.
could open it or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty neat. So that's it, and we're not voting on anything. I know it's for public comment, but I would prefer your all's public comment if you come and talk to me or send me an email and let me know your thoughts on the discipline. Again, this was it wasn't a shoot from the hip. We discussed it. We talked about it. You know, we just got to fine tune the discipline, and I needed to. That was my big question I had for you guys to see where your heads were. I don't like kicking kids out of school. It's the worst. I hate kicking kids out, and if we can avoid it, let's avoid it at all costs. So,
And if you see, I mean, the majority of those things, you know, the studies and things like that I've seen, that's, you know, they go on and on and on about being able to keep kids in school. You
Yes.
know, I mean, that's crucial.
we
so
got to
need
get
to
better.
do that, you know, in
We-
that sense, you know. But yeah, does kind of like you said, so far that looks. You know, that was where my head was when I started reading just before you said
That's
that. I
where
was
my
like
head-
thinking the same thing.
That's where my
Well,
head
what are
was
you going to
going
do
with
in a
the elementary
situation
school.
where you don't have ALC? You know, so you know you know, coming up with something that will work for everyone in this kind of
Yeah.
wording it, like you said, broadly to where if the high school wants to use that, then you know the elementary schools will use it. in a
The only
different
thing
way.
that I'm going to say about when they tell us that I didn't like whenever they said you had to put the discipline in the policy, I don't think it'll be a problem because I think we have great kids and I think they'll follow the rules. But here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about if there's some people that just aren't doing it, and the next thing you know, we got 20 kids in the ALC. Maybe we might have to come back as a board and revisit this and change the punishment if this is not enough to deter it, which I think it will, because I think
Well-
our kids will listen. I think once they understand this is
Well,
code.
My hope is that when the parents having to be involved, you know, I hope that will be a big one.
Yeah.
When mom and dad has to keep coming,
That's why.
Then-
That was my point.
then
for
that's
that.
gonna be,
That was my reason.
I would hope
So-
that something's
For
happening.
any
at that
offense,
point.
they have to come.
Every
First,
offense.
Second, third.
They come on every
and
offense, the
fourth.
parent has to come. Now, one of the things that's not in here that was stated under state code, we as a county we have to make a valiant effort to get this out. The reason I'm wanting to do this, I want to put this out on 30-day, and when we come back before school and vote on this, I want to get with the Echo. I want to get something typed up on Facebook. Might even do a mail out. I might even mail out a flyer that says, because I want our people in the county to know what's being proposed.
Go out at the beginning of the
Yes.
year with all the.
I will be honest and say I thought because this was code that I would not have to put it out for 30-day public comment. Other boards are doing it, so I reached out to Jason, and Jason said because Webster County, since I've came here, we have put all of our policies out for 30-day public comment. He said you need to continue to do that. So it will be out for 30 days, and then we will after 30 days has expired, we will create the policy. We will have to do that one night.
So the one thing I'm looking at too, just hope that that's not an issue, but as far as like transportation,
Where you at?
you know, on the student transportation, students may use their personal devices while riding to and from school. So that could, I'm just thinking that could be potential, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes on the buses when things are issued, but so
The
I don't
biggest
know
issues-
would be.
I may think maybe we should reword that a little bit and say regarding cell phone use on a bus, I say we refer to policy 4336, and I believe it says cell phones are not permitted. The problem is I don't know how we can lock, bus drivers got to drive a bus. They can't be locking up phones, and so I worry about adding that to the bus drivers, problem. But you are correct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I was just thinking, just as what Carrie Joe, I just wonder if, like you said, I know you're trying to get things going, but a simple box like that, they get on, put it in the box, and then we get out. I mean, if it's something that are fairly easy to work through, I know that's,
And then
however
the kid
much.
forgets to get their phone and then.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully, if they have to get it as they're going off the bus, then, I don't know. I'm just thinking, hopefully things, but I'm just saying, potentially, if we start seeing issues there,
I agree.
then we have to do something. But at this point, we'll just, but I'm just kind of looking through and thinking of potential problems. That might be something that we may have to bridge across later. Yeah, I don't know.
Because this is on a school bus during a school sponsored activity. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure 4336 they're not permitted to have a cell phone out on the bus. I have to check.
Oh, okay.
I'll check on
Okay.
that.
I was just kind of that.
Been a while since I opened 4336, but I know a little bit about it. So this is what I'd like. I would like approval to place this on 30-day public comment. I will have Stacy put something out on our Facebook page so that families and people in our community know that this policy is under review, so that we as a county will align with West Virginia code, and that we are following the law, and they can comment as needed. Anything you guys think of, write down. We don't have to wait till 30 days for you to tell me something. We can make changes. I will tell you the comments after the 30-day comment period has come down. We'll read those, and then that night you will set the policy as a board, okay? And if you think of something, tomorrow, tonight, whatever, just shoot me a text or an email, and we will go from there.
Okay, scenario where first time the kid's caught, parent doesn't come and have a conference.
Then the phone will remain locked in the storage container at the school. Yes, sir. That phone will be powered off, sealed in that. I'm going, once I meet with my principals when they all get back, I'm going to encourage them to have a ticket receipt system, something that lists any damages that are currently to the phone. Like, I don't want them to say, well, this phone was fine and my screen got cracked. Carrie Joe would say, screen cracked, case torn on such and stuff. Both powered it down both initial that this is all true and correct. The student initials it and the principal initials it. The kid gets a copy of the receipt. The principal keeps a copy. I put a little folder or something right there by it and just drop them down in there, and that'd be the receipt for the phone. That phone doesn't get out until a parent comes and gets it. This is gonna take some adjustment, but we'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. It's gonna be it might take them a couple weeks to get used to it, but
So would you not put the receipt inside of the case?
yeah, with the phone, I would give the kid a copy and then just that'd be even a better. Just throw the better idea. Just throw the receipt in the case, shut the case.
That way somebody can't claim somebody else's phone or.
Good point. Yeah,
Maybe
it's a good
in-
idea. Some sort of receipt system, yes, we'll utilize.
Can I say for Glade
Yeah.
that if you are, I mean, whenever you get to the point of purchasing, and I know sometimes the more you purchase, the less the price is, but as far as Glade, I would rather have the box system like she has, because if not, I can see sixth graders playing hide and go seek, and Johnny Bob takes Sally's out of her backpack at breakfast time, and then they hide it half the day, and then you're worried about what did he do with her phone, and if they're just all in one container that's sitting there, there's no hiding, there's no moving, so.
And yeah, that'll be fine. Again, that's what if that works best for you, as long as we are following the code that says as long as they're placed in a secured container, I'm fine with the elementaries using that. I'm fine with
Just,
that.
that may change your pricing a little bit if you say, oh, I only need 500 of these instead of 750.
Sure.
That's an odd number, but
So,
just so you know.
yeah. So clarify as far as like, so they go in to the
Yes.
particular classroom.
Yeah, when they go to their homeroom class, of course, like I said, it's been an option this past year. But if they wanted to give their phone to the teacher, because once again, our lockers don't lock.
Right.
Always said, you put it in there, it's your risk.
Yeah, yeah.
So they'd give, the phone to the teacher, they'd slip it in the case, it's probably about this big, it's full phone with holes in it and it's numbered. So they go, oh, Jimmy's number 1. And then once they have them all, they lock it, keys put away. Like I said, I have an extra key, so the kid leaves early and the teacher's on planning.
So they basically will stay there
They stay in
throughout the
the
day.
classroom.
Okay, okay. Because I was thinking, it was like, well, if
Yeah, behind the
each
teacher's
classroom,
desk,
because
yeah.
then it was like, okay, they get out of that classroom and then they have to go to another one, they're taking it. So, okay, so it's staying
So
there,
for us,
okay.
they start and end in the same place.
Gotcha,
so.
okay.
That
All
works.
right, yeah, yeah.
That works.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like thinking first, I was like, wait a second, they're taking it out there and going to the next room. They're gonna look, but okay. Okay, I got you. Thank you. That's all I have.
That's all I have this evening, Mr. Vice President. But again, I don't want any of you guys to hesitate to call if you think of something or as we move forward.
Okay, question on the kids that have to have them for medical reasons.
Yes, sir.
They will be able to keep them on their person at all times.
Correct. Yes, sir.
I had a question on that from a parent.
Any type of cell phone usage for medical 504 monitoring device, the student will not be withheld from the student
Okay.
ever.
Okay, what about, do we have kids taking the classes at Glenville again or New River that will need their phones to take tests?
There should have been a section in there that talked about that if they needed a communication device
Yeah.
to authenticate.
Yeah.
Like when you go to log in and it said, you know how you have to verify. So if there's any authentication, then they could access it, authenticate, but then it has to go right back in. The students weren't necessarily using phones to do their work. The county has a laptop lab because some of the students that are taking dual credit classes, the platform, the LMS that some of the colleges use, doesn't necessarily play well with the iPads. It doesn't completely load everything, so a laptop was more compatible with that platform. So there are some laptops at the high school that students can use for those dual credit courses. it's possible we may have to purchase a few more because we had some students that were bringing their own personal laptops. They weren't doing anything bad with them. They were doing their schoolwork. Unfortunately, state code now says that the definition of a personal electronic device includes a laptop. So that kind of ties our hands with that.
I think when we'd met with some of those kids up there, they said they had to take a picture of their test with their phone and send it to like Limbo or something when they took it, so I
Right,
didn't know if
so
that was still.
If we have, her and I've talked about what's going to happen. If we have to purchase, if we got to buy some laptops,
Yeah.
we can get some tools for schools money. There's some things out there we'll try to apply. Snowshoe Foundation's a good one to get a laptop lab. I know we got one at Tigers Valley High School once that way. So there's some options out there, but we may have to purchase, a set of classroom laptops for some of these dual credit kids. And if we need to do that, we will.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Okay, do we want to make a motion or just leave it under the whole gambit of motions
We can.
to go ahead and put this out for comment?
Yes. Well, the minutes will reflect that you are approving to put this out for 30-day public comment.
Okay, going on to number 10 then. Review results of 24-25 Webster County Board of Education self-appraisal.
Okay, I have the results for the self-appraisal from the board. Can communicate the county's mission, 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. I believe in learning for all, whatever it takes, 5 strongly agreed. I make decisions as a board member based on the established mission of the county, 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Board members share a commitment to the county's mission, 2 strongly agreed, 3 agreed. Our board meetings include meaningful discussion about county goals and means of achieving them, 3 agreed, 2 strongly agreed. Our board expects central office staff to be committed to all students obtaining mastery of state standards, 5 strongly agreed. My commitment as a board member impacts my actions and my expectations for student staff, 5 strongly agreed. Our board evaluates the superintendent based on board goals, expectations, student achievement, and compliance with state and local policy. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Our board members provide feedback to the superintendent when appropriate. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Our board upholds a clear set of expectations of performance and professional quality when hiring and evaluating the superintendent. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. As a board member, I have the necessary information to make decisions about issues. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. Student performance and well-being can be measured effectively. 1 strongly agreed, 4 agreed. Our board engages in frequent, meaningful conversations about improving student achievement throughout the district. 1 strongly agreed, 3 agreed, 1 disagreed. Our board has specific measurable goals, frequently monitors progress towards meeting them, and makes changes as needed. 1 strongly agreed, 4 agreed. Our board operates effectively as a policy-making body. 4 strongly agreed, 1 strongly disagreed. Decisions and actions of the board are grounded in the state and local policy as opposed to focusing on management. 2 strongly agreed, 3 agreed. All potential countywide issues are referred to the superintendent for management. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Our board has established a schedule for reviewing policies for relevance and alignment of state policy with West Virginia Code. 2 strongly agreed, 1 agreed, 2 disagreed. Our board's behavior aligns with the established norms and operating procedures. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. Our board allows and expects the superintendent to serve as the chief executive officer and run the day-to-day operations of the school system. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. The relationship between the board and the superintendent is one of mutual respect, open communication, trust, and confidence. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. The authority of our board as it cooperates as a corporate body and not as individual members. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Our board goals are established and communicated to all stakeholders. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. Our board has established process for communicating information to the public. 1 strongly agreed, 3 agreed, 1 disagreed. Our board meetings effectively allow time for both board business and input from community members. 4 strongly agreed, 1 agreed. Our board procedures for allowing public comments are fair, clear, and consistent. 5 strongly agreed. Our board members attend school district and community events throughout the year when possible. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. When speaking publicly regarding a county issue, board members align their statements with the board's official position on the issue. 3 strongly agreed, 2 agreed. Our board communicates with the government leaders, local, state, and national on issuing dealing with public education. 3 strongly agreed and 2 agreed. This response has been sent to the West Virginia Department of Ed as required in code, and it has been placed on our county website for review. So we are in compliance for the 24-25 school year. That is all I have under new business.
Okay. We're gonna be voting on items 1 through 10 and the new business. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes. Item 9, personnel. Do I have a motion to bring personnel to the floor?
So moved.
Susan? I'll second. Item 1, consider approving the following for service personnel substitute list. Larry Lane.
I move that we go into executive session under West Virginia Code 6-9A-4, number 6, to discuss the employment of Larry Lane.
I have a motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Lisa seconded.
Executive session entered as at 6:50.
53.
Who made the motion to go in, Susan?
Susan.
Second?
Lisa.
6:58.
Come out at 6:50.
Jimmy motioned to come out.
Yeah, Jimmy and Lisa.
Yep.
Okay, item 2, consider approving the following for extracurricular positions. A, Jeff Bell, electronics, art, sports coach. B, Kenny Green, head middle school football coach, pending certification renewal. C, Jeremy Snyder, volunteer coach, middle school football, pending certification renewal and background check. D, Isaac Snyder, volunteer coach, middle school football, pending certification and background check.
One of those are likely to apply for the paid assistant position once it comes back around.
And I have all of Kenny's stuff, so.
So all of Kenny's stuff has come back? Okay, good.
Okay, so we have Kenny Green.
You can,
stuff
yeah,
back.
Kenny's you can remove pending certification renewal.
Any questions on any of those?
The background check with Mr. Jeremy Snyder was due to the fact that he severed employment with us.
Yeah.
Right, so we have to. And Isaac's never been employed with us, so he'll have to have one as well.
Okay. Item 3, consider approving the following for professional positions. A, Adam Young, social studies teacher at WCHS. B, Holly Morrison, excuse me, .5 art teacher, Glade Elementary School. C, Kimberly Throckmorton, I hope I said that right.
You did? Very
Third
good.
grade teacher, Webster Springs Elementary School.
Letter D for assistant principal, Webster County High School. Letter D needs to read Zach Wingard. Letter E needs to read Corey Phillips. I put a little note here, and also just to let the board know, those are not listed in any particular order with seniority or rank or anything. They will have to come in and do a draw tomorrow if they're approved.
Questions on any of them?
How many people do we have apply?
We had 7 apply, 3 accepted interviews, 4 accepted interviews, 3 showed up to interviews. Zach, those numbers are correct, right, Mrs. Williams? Thank you.
And the, faculty senate approved.
Faculty Senate chairperson, and the principal approved all those. That was their recommendation.
And all of these 5 people.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
And these 2 scored highest on the matrix. right?
Yes, correct.
Just wanna make sure. Okay, number 4, consider approving the following service personnel resignations. Kathy Corral, cafeteria manager, Webster Springs Elementary School, effective immediately. B, Randall Holcomb, Webster Springs Elementary School, evening custodian, retirement purpose, effective July 30th, 2025.
Mr. Carpenter, real quick, I want the board to be aware of something regarding the new policy, the new state code, July 1st. When somebody retires, when they resign due to retirement for us now, moving forward, we cannot discuss, talk to, or encourage or nothing about them coming back or allow them to come back and be a substitute for us for 60 days now. So anybody prior to, and I'm going to use them as an example, Mr. and Mrs. Phillips most recently retired. They retired prior to July 1, so they were okay to be put on, but like Mrs. Crow, Mr. Holcomb, they cannot be, we can't contact, it has to be a clean break for 60 days. The way I was explained from our treasurer was basically they have to be issued a retirement check before they can come back. Because remember, sometimes we accept their retirement and approve them as a sub on the same agenda. Yeah. Cannot do that anymore. So that's why there's a 60-day lull there.
That's service personnel and professional?
Yes, ma'am. Correct. Both. Yep. Yeah, the IRS is the one. That's what it was. Yeah. So anyway, that was all. I just want to make sure you guys, if you guys asked or was asked that question.
Any questions on those 2? Item 5, consider approving the following professional resignations. Amy Mall, elementary academic coach, countywide, effective July 31, 2025. That's on one of
When does our 20-day go into effect, or 10-day, or whatever it is?
23rd. Where no more movement.
You're right.
23rd. Yeah, the 23rd's our movement in the county allowed for inter-county movement ceases on the 23rd.
Okay, so, but this says effective July 31st. Is it where,
That's when she's resigned, but we can post this now, and it'll just say effective start
but
date.
do we look at the date that they submitted their resignation, or
It's
the
the
date?
first. It goes off the first. If they okay, these people resigned today, and it was approved today, the 14th.
Uh-huh.
Day one is August 1st. That's when we start counting. It's the following month, the first day of the following month.
Oh, okay.
That's day one of their resignation. You're talking about the retirements, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So July 30th. So if
I'm talking about if this person was going to another county to go to work.
oh, for her,
Yeah,
yeah, she's going to continue to work with Dr. Powell until she leaves to get things ready for the. She wants to help train the new person.
oh, okay.
She wants to work and continue to help out with that until she's gone.
Okay. Item 6, consider approving the following extracurricular resignations. A, Amy Mall, teacher leader, Glade Elementary School, effective July 31st, 2025. B, Amy Mall, science fair coordinator, Glade Elementary School, effective July 31, 2025. C, Amy Mall, countywide homebound teacher, effective July 31, 2025. D, Anthony Hokum, middle school assistant football coach, effective immediately. E, Jessica Cullip, homebound instructor, effective immediately. Any questions on any of them under item 6? Okay, item 7, consider approving the following for FMLA beginning August 30th, 2025. A, Rose Cochran. Any questions on that?
Under number 8, that says for a high school JV volleyball coach. I'd like to change the word JV to assistant. Just high school assistant volleyball coach.
Okay. Number 8, permission to create and post for a high school assistant volleyball coach. Any questions? Okay, we're going to be voting on items 1 through 8 under personnel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We're down to superintendent updates.
All right, just a couple things. If you've been up to the high school, you noticed that the sidewalk demo has not happened. The reason I had to cease that with Mr. Short was due to the fact that the architects, upon review, are afraid that we may put in that new sidewalk and they may end up having to demo it and go under it when they bring the lines out of the building for the sewer. So they were concerned that we would have to, they didn't want us to redo that sidewalk and then it get blown up and have to be done again. So just trying to save us some money. That, if I'm not mistaken, Tammy's left. That's okay. I'm fairly certain that the bid stands, that we will not have to rebid that as long as Mr. Short says the prices is the same. And if he says it's different, then we'll have to rebid it. But as of now, and I sent him a letter and let him know that. So
We're just doing that section where the mailbox is right there.
from the mailbox up, and then it comes around that corner.
It comes
It
around the
kind of corners off towards the
Does it come to the
CTE
edge of the
wing.
wing?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right under where the drain,
Okay.
where the clean out is.
Okay.
There's a clean out right there. That's why we're
Okay, I didn't realize, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to start looking at a policy and a funding update on mapping. We're hearing that there's going to be for the internal, one of the legislative things where we have to map out our insides of our schools now. That was one of the legislative policies, and we're hearing maybe some funding's going to be coming down the road for that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. We don't know. I've not heard anything even close to concrete that there is or isn't. So it's kind of up in the air. Dr. Jeremy Powell has reached out to some companies at some of these conferences on that sort of cost, and has some ideas. Hopefully by the next meeting, I'll be able to get you a more precise cost on that. If you have something to write with, well, actually, you don't. Before our copier blew up, I have this year's upcoming it's the 24-26 School Board Association Conference and Training Schedule. This is for all the conferences and trainings that are coming up this year, and the dates for those. Joyce, I'm gonna leave yours on by your nameplate here.
And here's the sign up for, is it September?
The fall conference is September 5th and 6th at the Marriott. We need to, Joyce, you're going to that one, yeah?
Yes,
I'm gonna write your name on it, okay?
yes.
You'll be going in person, correct, Joyce?
Yes.
Jimmy, Lisa, you're going in person? Okay. I'll keep talking, you write for me, if you don't mind. Put my name on there too. Excuse me. So with that being said, I believe that was all I had this evening. We have the agenda, looking at the agenda from the SESC update that Mike and I did there a while back. And Mike, I didn't write much down.
It was basically cleanup. I mean, they approved the
End of year, yeah.
United Bank, approved their insurance in COVA, approved an auditor for this coming year, the next 2 years, and then they give those reports, the chief administrative report. It was pretty quick.
It was
meeting for a change.
fast. It was one of the quick ones. If the bid, let's say the project takes long or up for the sewer or whatever, is there a timeline when we would have to rebid that sidewalk project for Tommy, or would he keep it as long as the price didn't change? That was board approved.
Yeah, as long as the price.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Did you make a note on doing the policy for board member pay?
Yes, Stacy. We one of the policies that they've been told we need to create is the policy regarding Board of Education members' pay. We need to get that. We need to create one. And again, that's one of those policies that is it county by county, or was Neola going to do a push on those? Does anybody know?
I thought there was gonna be a push on
I did too, but we're not. Here we are.
it. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, we're about to pay them, and the policy's not. I've not got anything.
What's the specific amount? Or is it just
Two.
say
50.
the maximum allowable?
I think we
Well,
need to
that's a
state,
minimum of
didn't you
like
say that when we were talking about it, that it was, what was in state code? Unless we vote to
Right. It's like,
receive a lower
we-
pay.
the way they worded it, or just kind of spoke there at the meeting, was just saying that our policy aligns with
State.
the
State
state
code.
code. Basically, just,
Okay,
it was
But
kind
our
of general,
policy needs
nothing
to say that.
Yeah,
Our policy.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
just there, he said you don't necessarily, unless you wanted to get into any specifics, you could just from what they had understood and
See,
discussed. they
We're
were
not allowed to
through-
vote for us to have a pay raise.
Gotcha, so
Yeah.
the state legislature.
So our policy just needs to say Webster County Schools Board of Education policy shall mirror that of the state.
Okay,
Is that correct, Jim?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's
Perfect.
what they were telling us there at that meeting.
That's all I have this
That's all
evening.
you got? Jimmy, you got anything? Lisa? Susan?
No.
One thing I had, Joe sent me the geotechnical report on the school bus garage. I reviewed it. I had one little question on fill material. We can address that with the architects or the engineers. But they talked like we could use that fill material, but then it looked like they're
Yeah.
gonna buy a bunch of fill material. So
Yeah, so that's a conversation. Maybe you just need to swing by one day. We can call Christian.
yeah, we can just, that's the only thing. Everything looked good on what they drilled and everything. They did hit some water on a couple of them, but they thought it was just surface water where it rained after they drilled them.
Okay.
But everything looked pretty good on it. That's
Good.
all I had. Okay, that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I second.
Lisa, Jimmy, seconds. All in favor, say aye. We're adjourned.
Have a good evening, Joyce.
Hey, you all too. See you next meeting.
All right, see ya. Have fun at the beach.
You're gonna get the stair. I'll put your name on there.
Daddy, have fun.